Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. Welcome to another edition of Skip Happens, because tonight is our holiday show. This is so amazing. I saw this, I'm going to find out. He's driving a red truck. I don't know why it's red. I have a good idea, but he pulled up. My son, Zach, went absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
Said,
I went nuts.
Goodness.
I was acting like Buddy's yell from Alf. I was like, Santa! Santa!
I know him.
I know him!
Buddy.
Yeah. Santa, welcome to the Podzone.
Yes,
Well,
welcome,
thank you for
Santa.
having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. I have to ask, is this your first podcast, or are you doing anything like this, or have you become an influencer?
I guess I have for some reason. Yes, this is definitely my first podcast.
Cool.
I'm kind of get shook up over this technology, but I think it was called Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Zoom.
And
Zoom.
it was for some children in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, wow.
It was the poorest school district there. So I talked with the children. They asked a lot of questions about when I was a little boy, and they realized that I grew up a lot like they did. And amazing comes Santa.
Amazing. I can't believe you're sitting here at my
Wonderful.
Podzone table. I'm just all giddy.
Me too. Me too. I'm like, oh my God.
Exactly. Well, again, welcome. And I know you're insanely busy this time of the year. But what made you want to stop by Skip Happens, the podcast?
Well, I've known you, young man, for well
my
over
life.
50 years. Yes.
Yeah, I'm well over 50.
Yes. And I've heard you on the radio.
Oh, thank you.
And I saw you at the gala
Mhm.
for Gigi's Playhouse.
Oh, yes.
And I was at another place helping out with a fundraiser at the stadium,
Mhm.
and we ran into each other again.
We did.
And your son, wonderful
Zach.
little boy.
Thank you.
Mhm.
He's just, matter of fact, he told me, he says, Dad, before Santa leaves, you got to give him my list. And I said, we got it covered, honey. I said, but buddy, I said, but you know what? You just got to keep this on the down low, because here you are at Zach's house in the Podzone. So I don't need anywhere I need to call somebody for security, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So how cool. It's good to see you, though. It's so good to see you.
Really good to see you again, young man.
And
you,
Miss
young
Ray.
lady.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm just in shock. I really am. I'm just like, oh my gosh, Santa's here in the flesh.
Santa, I have to ask, what's a normal workday like at the North Pole?
Oh, it's very busy. It slows down a little bit during warmer weather because we don't have air conditioning, but it's still fairly cool there. But we have trucks arriving all the time, and occasionally an airplane.
Really?
And they're bringing items there to help us to build the toys, wood and other things. So, and we had a big slowdown during COVID.
Oh, yeah. I was reading about that.
Yes, a lot of the elves were ill, and a lot of the people driving the big trucks bringing things were ill. So I said, I hope you kids can understand I might not be able to have as many toys out there. So if you only get one, you're going to know why.
I get it. I totally get it. But I do have to, I want to back it up a little bit, because you arrived and I mentioned the red truck, and I'm like, I was expecting to hear maybe a reindeer on the roof or something, or somebody knocking on my roof or the back door. But no, you pulled up in a red truck. So what's that all about?
Well, actually, it's kind of warm for the reindeer.
I get you.
And the local firemen, no matter where I go, they loan me a red truck to use.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And red for obvious reasons. I like
yes.
that. Yeah, red. Red's your favorite color.
Yes, it is.
As I can see.
Second favorite is green.
No, yeah, I know. I was thinking about putting the green lights in here along with the red ones. You can't see them from where we're sitting, but they are above you. So that's kind of cool. What's harder? I don't mean to get into a lot of the business side of things or what Santa does at the North Pole, but who's harder to manage? You gotta deal with the elves,
Yes.
and then you have to deal with the reindeer.
Yes.
Who's
and
harder?
Mrs. Claus.
And Mrs.
Yeah,
Claus.
Yes.
By the way,
Yes.
give her our
Yes.
love. So.
Well, you know that old saying about the 3-ring circus? Well, I'm supposed to be the guy juggling
Yeah.
everything,
Mhm.
but everybody really works together very hard. And the thing is, you know, people don't know that all of Santa's reindeer are girls.
Really?
And
Really?
I've had children ask me why. I said, well, I said the girl reindeers, they keep their horns till late in the summer
Mm,
so they can
Hmm.
protect the little ones when
Gotcha.
they're born, so
Mhm,
the boys
mhm.
don't need them.
Mhm.
And I had
Huh.
one lady say, it figures if there's hard work to do, a woman will have to do it. I said, please don't say that or I'll Mrs. Claus.
I was going to say, yeah. Is the
Mm.
door closed? Yeah, it is. Okay. So,
Of course, Rudolph is the most famous reindeer of all. But do you have a famous reindeer, or who's the reindeer that you like? You just you resonate with, you know?
You know what? All of them.
All of them, not a
You
single.
know, they go way beyond being like a pet. They just work so hard. And you know, they're all the time out there practicing.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
sometimes they get injured. So we have to make sure everybody stays in good shape. And yes, I know a lot of people are surprised when they hear all the reindeer girls.
Do they ever call in sick on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what happens when someone gets a sick day?
Well, actually, knock on wood,
It hasn't happened.
I've never had it
Oh, my
happen
goodness.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And the way everybody pitches in for that big night. And do you know, I couldn't possibly carry all the presents, millions and millions of them. And what I do is I swoop down to
Mhm.
all these old train stations. And there you have the first responders.
Yeah, yeah.
Like firefighters, people in law enforcement, ambulance drivers and technicians, and they are there ready to hand. It doesn't make any difference the weather. They are there to help me get that sleigh loaded up right off.
Man,
so
and
I
you-
can take off.
Oh, it's amazing. You can get that
Wonderful.
off the ground because you got so much in the way of gifts and all that, and just and the speed you travel. I don't get it. I think it's the coolest thing going. I'm like, man, I like speed. I like to go fast, but
Well,
that's amazing.
But you know a thing or two about going fast.
well, believe it or not, I hope there's nobody here from law enforcement, but
No, we keep this hidden.
I used to have a Harley Davidson,
Really?
and I rode them for years, and I did have a tendency to drive way too fast with it.
Wow.
But even Mrs. Claus didn't complain. She
No.
liked it.
She liked to ride it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I bet.
yes.
I bet.
What role does Mrs. Claus play that we don't really realize she plays?
Well, she got me a gift several years ago. She got me a very elaborate GPS.
Mm-hmm.
What
Good
she
gift.
does, she keeps it on her desk, and every time the United Postal Service has a change in location as far as any family,
Mhm.
they put it into a computer and they send it to her. So I always have an updated list of where everybody is. And it's great. I get on there, I hit one button, and I can follow every
That's
place I
amazing.
have to. So
It's amazing.
Yes, I get to have. Well,
Yeah.
I do have some cookies for breakfast, but I get to have breakfast with everybody, with all the elves, the reindeer, and
Mhm.
anybody that helps me.
One thing, Santa, I don't mean to interrupt, but if people are watching this, because Santa, this does not happen all that often. Now, it's like I can't remember the last time Santa sat in on a podcast, but he's here in the Skip Happens Pod Zone. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment. You want to say hello. You got somebody that wants to ask a question of Santa. But if you're watching this on Facebook, do me a favor, switch over to YouTube if you can. Just go Skip Happens. It's going to come up. You can watch it and let us know. If your little ones are watching this, by all means, I'd love to know. We'd love to give them a shout out as well. So,
Well, Santa's been doing this since most of the parents that have children now.
Mm-hmm.
Before they were born, I started out in 1970. Mrs. Kloss and I had a little girl,
Oh,
and that was the year in 1970. And I wanted to be a Santa for my children. Well, it just mushroomed from there. My first
I
suit
got it.
was plastic. You could see through it. You could see my street clothes. And
See, it's Harley clothes.
Right.
Yes.
And from there, a lady started making my suits. This jacket and pants, the lady spent over 200 hours hand sewing it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Maria
Well,
Schwepp.
it looks good
Yeah.
on you, Santa.
Thank
It
you.
looks really good. Really good. You know, I have James is on there. Says, "Hey Santa, please define good."
Good is when you do something, even though it's not fun and it doesn't hurt anybody, and it puts a smile on your face.
Can you let me know if I'm on the naughty list?
Oh, no, I don't do that at all.
You don't
Mm-mm.
disclose that?
Oh
No.
I was kind of worried.
That way, everybody's good right up till Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And
All right.
after that, I kind of give them a pass.
Yeah.
Ah, you're a good Santa.
Mm.
You're good. You're
He
good.
is
What's
good.
your I know you get a lot of good when you show up here on Christmas Eve. I mean, you have like a great spread of cookies and you got the milk, and we even put a little reindeer food out front. You've probably seen that when you come by.
Yes,
and
I did.
But do you have a favorite cookie?
Well, everybody thinks it's chocolate chip.
Mm.
But the truth is, I like the no-bake cookies.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite.
Right. It's made
Santa
with,
has taste.
right.
Yes.
It's made with oatmeal
Yes.
and with cocoa, the powdered cocoa,
Mhm.
and I like it with a little coconut in it. And if you want to throw in some
Coconut?
walnuts,
I think
or
he's
something,
like
that's really
giving
good.
me
Wow, that
Boy,
sounds
I'll have
delish.
to
I haven't
let
tried the
Mrs. Clark
coconut
know
or-
about that.
Yeah.
upstairs, so. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Christmas.
Do you have any like pre-flight rituals? Like, how do you prepare yourself the night before Christmas?
Well, I start off by saying a prayer that I'll have at least one gift for each child. And there's a lot of times there's a single parent household. So I like something also for that parent. And I say another prayer that everything will go well, that there won't be any injuries or hurt feelings or that. And, my reindeer will actually get down and they'll squat down. They say their own prayer that they have a
love
safe
that.
trip.
Wow. I love that. There's a lot going on in the world, and you go around the world. I mean, it's so, like I mentioned before, the speed is unbelievable. But when you head around the world, and now with all the uprising in the Middle East, does any of that worry you, Santa? Are you, you got your sleigh, you're moving through the atmosphere, you're trying to, you've got gifts for everybody, and we're all human.
Well,
We all need to love each other.
let me tell you, I have dealt with people from all over the world, people where there's wars and so on. And I guess you could say they have told me they know my heart is pure and I want to help everybody. I guess could say that politics never enter into what Santa's doing. And they know I don't just help children. They know sometimes people need, I guess, say some encouragement or whatever about what they're doing. And, Santa does it, but it does bother Santa. Now, I kind of got this from my parents, but more from my dad. He was the first American soldier to enter Dachau when it was liberated.
Oh, wow.
So I have really made an effort to go out there and actually with youth groups teaching them, look, we may have differences, but in a lot of ways we're the same.
Yeah.
I got you. Wow. I'm still all giddy. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just like all giddy. When it doesn't snow, let's say, we've had, and there's places in the world where there's no snow, but you still show up. How does the sleigh and the reindeer handle all that? I mean,
I wish I
magic.
had the answer.
It's magic.
Even the reindeer don't know how they say, we just know
Mhm.
that we can, and we
Mhm.
have enough faith to believe we can do it. So they do.
Wow.
And it was a shame when I first got Rudolph, the other reindeer made fun of him.
Mhm.
I heard that.
That was sad. And then one night, and it was a horrible night, a really bad blizzard. I couldn't see,
Mhm.
and they teased Rudolph about his nose glowing. And I said, "Boy, you know what? I'll bet you if he was up there in front with that red nose, he could light the way."
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it was a good lesson, not only for the other reindeer, but it's like I tell children, you may have children in your class that may look a little different, or they may be in a wheelchair. My best friend in high school was in a wheelchair his whole
Mm.
life. He was such a very smart person. And, I try to point out to kids, just because you're different doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
Oh, absolutely.
So now I've had little ones tell me that when they've gone back to school, they make a point to be friends with these kids. And I said, they're really all very special.
They are. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know very well.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah. Well, that almost did me in. Wow. Yeah.
What's your favorite way of receiving letters? Do you like the handwritten letters? Do you like the drawings of the presents that the kids want? Do you like
Email?
like an email? Do you like the USB
Well,
file that's
I don't know.
got
Does-
the
Does Santa have email
presentation?
now? I don't know.
Yeah.
well,
so cool.
I'll tell
What's your
you,
favorite way to?
I have the handwritten letters
Mhm.
and pictures and so on going all the way back to 1970 when I started doing this. And I have some families that I've been doing Santa for so long that the infants now have children of their own. And some of those children are in their teens.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
it goes from one generation to another.
How do you fuel your sleigh? Is it the more you believe, the higher and the faster you go?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
And, one of the things I try to tell children and parents, it's so cold up there.
Oh, I bet.
Mhm.
But with my suit, I'm plenty warm, and the reindeer are. But
That's amazing.
I can't bring pets with me. It's way, way too cold, and they would freeze up there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's got to be another way though, because Santa does bring pets for the kids, so you just can't do it that way. Maybe you have them shipped somehow, some way, and you make sure they end up there. So,
I do have helpers,
that's the secret.
and they're kind of sneaky. They'll put a little puppy into a great big box and leave it on the front steps, or they'll ring the doorbell and they'll run, and the kids will come to the door and see the box and they'll hear the noise. Yes, one little girl, she got a Saint Bernard puppy.
That's a big puppy.
It was like
That is a big puppy.
was definitely like a full-grown dog, and it was instant love with the two of them.
Mhm.
He comes out of the box, runs right to her. She's hugging him, and he's licking her face, and the parents are staying there with tears in their eyes. I said, "How much joy can you get?" My Mrs. Claus and I have a little rescue, and he's wicked funny, and he's also wicked smart. He knows what time it is to eat.
Oh, we have a yellow lab that does that.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a mini Australian that does the same thing.
I'll tell you what he did one day to me, and I go, "Oh God, I don't need this." He would eat his dinner at 4 in the evening. So he comes over and he yips, and it says yip for "I want to eat." And I go, "No, it's too early."
Mhm.
And I pointed at the clock on the mantle. So he disappears. I'm watching my movie on TV. He comes back down. He yips, turns, and he looked right at the clock like, yeah, I
He
know
knew.
it's 4
He knew.
o'clock.
Yeah,
So,
you knew it.
yes.
You knew it. What? This is the busy time of the year for you, and it all comes to a head like pretty soon in a week.
Well,
A week from now, it's going to be over with.
Yes.
So
yes.
when you get back to the North Pole, everything settles down. Does everybody just go on vacation? Do they chill? Do you have a party saying everybody did a great job?
Oh,
How does that work with everybody?
we definitely have a party for everybody.
Yeah.
Extra rations for the reindeer, extra sweets
Yeah.
for the elves. And sometime Mrs. Claus and I will actually go to upstate New York to go
Oh,
and
wow.
visit around the Thousand Islands and
Downtown.
Saranac,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lake Placid, all the lakes, the
You
Finger
gotta watch out for the
Lakes.
bears up there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I was there when I was in Boy Scouts. You may remember. I don't know because Santa watches you all year round, but at Camp Sabatis, if we left
Yes.
the food out on the table,
It would
it
disappear.
would disappear,
Mhm.
and the bears would be at the dump, but they'd always kind of wander around. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yes,
crazy.
Santa had the fright of his life. I was out hiking,
Mhm.
and I think it was Warrensburg, New York. So I sat down and I nodded off, and I heard this oomph. And what
Santa?
it was a bear,
No.
and it like made a huffing noise. And I stood up, turned and looked, and he looked, and we both ran. And
Yeah, but you were incognito because you
yes,
weren't in
yeah,
your
I wasn't
your
wearing my
Santa.
Santa suit.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
The holidays are full of a lot of Christmas cheer, imagination. What role do you think imagination plays in society, or how important do you think that
Yeah.
that spirit, that joyfulness is for the bigger picture of things?
I'm a firm believer that anything human beings can imagine, they can create. And one of those things, of course, is smiles on people's faces.
Mhm.
Walking up to somebody who's a complete stranger and telling me you're sorry they're having a bad day. It's extremely important. I mean,
Mhm.
as you said, there's so many things going on in the world. And this is, like you say, the time of the year when I really try very, very hard
Mhm.
to make people smile.
Well, you do a good job of it.
Oh, thank you.
Always, always. I mean, we look
Yeah.
forward to, when we know Santa's coming. That's pretty exciting news.
You
So,
know, there's so many ways that people can help others. Back in 2000, I was approached by the Red Cross, and
Mhm.
they asked me if I'd be willing to be a bone marrow donor.
oh, wow.
So in 2000, I got to be a bone marrow donor, and I felt very, very blessed. But according to the doctor, it was unusual because he said they mixed my blood with his child's blood, who happened to be in England.
Uh-huh.
It had never been done before. The National Institute of Health had to create paperwork. And do you know what? It took maybe all of 2 hours of my life. But like they say, a man maybe can't give birth, but you know what?
Mm.
We can give them an extended life.
I love that.
So-
Yeah, Santa, that's wonderful. And that's great that you're saying that. And again, if anybody's watching this and you want to ask Santa a question, you got the kids there, they want to give a shout out, Santa
Mhm.
will give you a shout out. Let them know what you want.
Yes,
We'll
most
just pass it
definitely.
along. He's sitting right here in the Podzone. First time ever on a podcast.
Yes, this is
Wow.
amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? Now,
Yeah.
see, yep. When you talk to other people around the world, you can just go, I saw this guy Skip and Miss Ray in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Santa actually did a seminar for Santas from all over the country, Ohio, Maine, Rhode Island, just all over. And this other gentleman who's one of my helpers asked me if I would do a seminar.
Mhm.
And I go, well, sure. What do you want me to do? And he said, I want you to tell all these other Santas what you do, like raising the money by going to house and company parties and donating it out,
Mhm.
and the impact that you can have when you go and talk to children. You know, it's I can't even begin to tell you how rewarding it
Yeah.
It's
is.
got to be. It's got to be. And Heather commented, Santa, oh, how I love you and the magic you bring to so many of us.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
But you know what? I think Santa kind of gets a lot more out of it than everybody because
Yeah.
it's just such a joyful thing to be able to do.
And that's why you've been doing this for so many years, that you can
Yeah.
just keep going and going and going, because
Mhm.
it's believing, it's knowing what people need. It's that whole thing. It all comes from your heart, you know?
Well, children will ask me how old I am. I'm
Oh,
very honest.
uh-oh.
I tell them I was born
Was-
BC.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and I was at a house party and there was 2 Catholic priests.
Mhm.
I said, now for Santa, BC means something different. So the little kids all leaned forward and said, what does it mean? I said, I'm so old. I was born before computers. And they can relate to it. They go, wow, you're
Yeah.
really old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. I was going to say before Christmas, but obviously before computers.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody thinks.
Yeah, I was.
Mhm.
I had no idea, but we don't give out the numbers, so we don't need to do that.
Yes.
No,
Mhm.
not at all.
So during the month of December, you do a lot of community involvement. You know, you go and visit kids all over the state, all over New York State, all over the country, all over the world. And then you deliver presents on Christmas. What does a normal day look like outside of December? So up in the North Pole, what is it normally like up there? Do you celebrate summer? Do you do summer?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, you said he does a little
Yeah.
camping upstate
That's
New
true.
York.
And
Yes.
Yeah.
there has to be no snow at one point in your life if you're Harley Davidson it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's something that never phased Santa.
Mhm.
I rode my Harley Davidson from Binghamton, New York to Syracuse, and it was snowing so hard, people were pulling over. I got caught off guard. I didn't know it was going to snow, neither did anybody else, but I got home.
Wow, if only they had known that was Santa. Really? Well, that's why. That's why, because you're Santa. I mean,
Yeah,
come on, you got the magic. You make it happen.
Well, people waved at me, and some of them just shook their heads like, this man is crazy.
But
to
you're
be
on a
riding in the
Harley.
snow. Yes.
Yeah. So, was it a Fat Boy?
No.
No.
No, I'm the fat boy.
No.
It was called a Heritage Softail.
Okay.
And it looked like a Harley from the late 40s, early 50s.
Sweet. Love that. So what do you, I mean, in the off season, you get together and play ball with the elves. What goes on?
Yes, I'm always up to anything they want to do that's going to give them a good time.
Mhm.
And
Do you vacation? Have you ever vacationed?
this sounds like the commercial on television where the progressive girl said, what's that? Oh, yeah, you mean like when I'm sitting in my... Well, actually, to me, a vacation is having time to do some things with Mrs. Claus, things to do with the elves. Like we all will share time together. We've gone fishing together. We've gone camping together. And I also have brought them along because Santa is a volunteer on a wilderness search and rescue team.
Yeah.
So they really like that a lot because they were taught things like low angle rescue, which means like if somebody falls down a cliff or whatever, crime scene preservation, because we work all the time with law enforcement. There's just so many things. And you don't get the normal first aid when we get our training because sometimes the people are way out, 3 or 4 miles into the woods. So
there's a lot of things. I never realized Santa was into all that. I mean, I guess it's like I go back to saying you've got the magic, you got the belief, you know where things are and how to fix things and just make it happen for everybody.
I'm not surprised by any of this, if I do say so myself. Have you ever seen Santa Claus is Coming to Town? He was so in touch with the animals.
He was
so in nature. Movies, they do a great job of showing you in your story, of course. What's your favorite Christmas movie? What's one movie that you're like,
my
that kind
favorite,
tells my
The
story.
Christmas Story with Darren McGavin.
Oh,
yes.
Now, I'll tell you how much that's my favorite. I actually talked with a gentleman who's local, and he makes a barbecue sauce. It's very special. And we got talking. He knows the man that played the little boy that was in the snowsuit.
Well,
That puts his arms up in the air and he
Mhm,
can't, walk or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like the little
And
brother, Randy.
so he has a snowsuit and he has a big piece of plywood with a cutout. So people can go up and put their face there and have their picture taken with that original
I love
snowsuit.
it.
That's so
And
Oh
cool.
my.
he also has the fire truck from the movie.
Mm.
So Santa's going to be doing some fundraisers this next year.
Oh, nice.
One of them will be furs, feathers, and fins, which will be for basically any type of animal. Because some people, they love their pets, but they need a little bit of help.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Santa tries to help with
So
that.
Abilene, I got to know from somebody. Abilene has been especially good this year, Santa. So you need to know that. You know that.
Okay.
I'm sure that's
Yes.
you
Oh,
got
most
that info.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Way to go, Abilene.
Yes,
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Abilene.
And thank goodness for the elves on the shelf. Boy, do they
Oh, do
save
they
me a lot of
report
work.
back? Do they really? Come on.
They are required to.
Wow. Tell us about that whole, I mean, yeah. And then I
Or what
always
happens
wondered.
if a family doesn't have an elf on the shelf? What do you do in those situations? Like, how do you?
I still find
You still
out.
know. You still
Yes.
know.
I have been out. I have been out shopping.
I should have known better.
Yeah.
He knows. He knows.
I've been out shopping in street clothes. They think I'm just a guy with a beard and
Mhm.
white hair.
Little do they know.
Yes.
Little do they know.
So they'll be misbehaving, and I'll walk up to their mom because I never give anything to a child. I let the parents do that.
Mhm.
And I will give the card to the parent, and it has a magnet on the back. I said, if they misbehave like this anymore, keep this on your refrigerator.
Ah.
She goes, oh my God, it's really you, isn't it? I said, yes, it is.
I was just going to ask
And
if it's
the
been.
kids' eyes get so big.
Wow. That
Yeah.
it's any close calls of somebody going, oh my God, that's Santa. I know it's Santa.
I
So-
got a phone
Yeah,
call from
yeah.
a mom and dad whose children were just raising heck. So they were fairly close by. So I go to visit, and there's a stairway in their garage to go down into the basement.
Mhm.
It was so loud, the screaming and hollering. So I knocked on the door. They opened the door, and I stood there with my hands on my hips. And I said, what is the meaning of this? You promised me you were all going to behave. I said, where's your mother and father? So they came down,
Mhm,
and I
mhm.
go, I'm so disappointed. Santa, we're really sorry. We told them they better behave. It's close to Christmas. I go, this is the last chance. I said, you've promised and promised. So next year, if you're
Mhm.
not behaving, I'm not going to be able to bring presents for any of you. And I don't want it to be like that. So
So someone can have a rough year and still be able to make it on the good list, or
mhm.
okay.
Okay.
That's
I was kind of
good to
wondering
know.
about
No,
that.
it's like the
That is
thought
good
of
to know.
if
that
you're
is good to know.
right. It's like
But 3 chances, you're
right.
out. Yeah.
It's like adults. They know they're supposed to behave.
hmm
And I guess you could say as they get to the end of their years,
Mhm.
they start thinking about that and they change, I guess, say the attitude they have, and they behave like they should have when they were little kids.
Mm. I have to ask, do you listen to music while you're doing your thing?
Uh,
And what's on your
Good
playlist in the sleigh?
question.
well, of course, I
But it's
have
got to be quick.
my number one button is 92.1, of course. You
Yeah,
know that.
well,
Of
yeah, I mean,
course.
that
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And as a matter of fact, I kind of figured that, and I was hoping you would say that. So- but that's cool. But so you're listening to some country while you're getting things done.
Most definitely.
But that's cool. That's
Oh,
cool. And
we're-
plus, with the extensive satellite equipment that I would assume is on your sleigh, you can listen to us anywhere in the world.
Well, Motorola actually helps support our search and rescue team.
Mhm.
So, needless to say, they know who I am, and I get some of their latest equipment. Here, we just want you to
Ooh.
try it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
see
a
how
little,
you like
Yeah,
it.
Speak
yeah.
highly
So,
of it, and you can have it.
Yes, yes.
But it all works out. I get
Mhm.
that. That is cool. That is cool.
How has the evolution of technology helped with the delivery of presents and
Oh,
stuff? Has
oh
it
my
made
God,
it
that's a great question.
easier, or
Yeah.
do you struggle with technology?
I do some, but I have found ways using technology to get money for charities. Like one charity needed $8,000 for engineering work
Mhm.
and blueprints to
Mhm.
get this building built, which is called Casey's Place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm kind of sneaky. They say I have a little bit of the devil in me, but I went to a foundation, didn't ask them for 8,000. I asked them for 10. They gave it to me, and
Oh, my gosh.
they
That's
Santa.
did a
That's
big blown
awesome.
up check
Yeah.
that I had in my
Yeah.
bag, and the children with Casey's Place, they were having their party at the zoo.
Mhm.
So I said, "Young lady, Mrs. Diane Napa, come here.
Yeah, I know Diane.
Yep,
Yeah.
I have something for you." And I took it out of my bag, gave it to two gentlemen with a foundation. And when I stepped away and she saw the check, she started crying.
Oh.
I said, "Wait a minute, you're unhappy? Isn't this what you want?" And she comes over and she hugged me. She's, oh
Oh,
my
my
God.
gosh.
That's
So
awesome.
Santa comes through.
people want to help. It's just,
Mhm.
Mhm.
it's just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't say this enough. If you're sitting there and you're watching this, this is really happening. Santa is sitting here in the pod zone, and it's an opportunity for any of you to, if you have a question, maybe some of your kids are sitting there with you and you're watching this, by all means, just comment and Santa will respond. He's sitting right here. And as I said that, another one came in. So let's see what this one's all about. I would love Santa to share more about how he makes. Okay,
Sure, kids with disabilities.
feel his magic. It's my favorite. So it said, I would love Santa to share more about how he makes sure kids with disabilities feel his magic.
Well, I'm extremely patient. And people said, you have a God given gift because I can make any child or elderly person in particular smile. And since about 1980, Santa has been involved with several different organizations that help children with disabilities.
Mhm.
I was one of the founding members of the Syracuse wheelchair sports team. I would take children that were in the youth groups and have them meet with people with disabilities.
Mhm.
One gentleman, he didn't have any use of his legs, only the
Mm.
use of one arm,
Mhm.
and he swam competitively. And
Wow.
he was
That's
within
inspirational. That's awesome.
10 seconds of the Olympic record for freestyle. Now stop and think about that.
Wow.
10 seconds, which is a long, long time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he only had the use of one arm. So
Wow.
I had him sitting in a chair when we had this get together with the children, and he's talking about the different things he did in his life. And he turns to me, of course, we pre-planned this. He said, "Would you go get my chair?" I go, "Sure." And I went over, I took his wheelchair out of the closet, and those children just sat there with their jaws hanging down.
Wow.
Yeah,
Great
that's
story.
Santa has done a lot to raise money
Mm.
for children with disabilities. And I was told that I did miracles, but I pointed out to them it wasn't me. I said, there's a power much stronger than me, and I pointed up. I've had so many nonverbal autistic children
Mhm.
that I was able to get to talk. And when they say it's a miracle, I point out to them. I look them right in the eye.
Mhm.
I ask them a question, and they know I expect them to answer. The oldest child that was nonverbal that talked to me was 15.
Wow.
So Santa
Wow.
I'm just happened to be the monkey in the middle.
No, but
Yeah.
and everything you've been telling Miss Ray and myself, and a lot of things we did not know about you, Santa, that even when it's not Christmas time, you're somewhere,
Oh,
and
yes.
and the people just don't realize it's you, and
Right.
you're making it happen. And oh man, that's just wow. Oof.
That's
I got
inspirational.
goosebumps. I got the chicken noodles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Santa actually has a big, thick binder, about 3 inches thick,
Mhm.
with over 400 business cards. So if somebody's going to do a fundraiser, I have all these different cards for bands,
Mhm,
food,
mhm,
whatever.
mhm, mhm.
And the director of Make-A-Wish locally, Diane Kupperman, said,
Mhm.
why don't you put together some kind of a binder, a smaller one for people so they'll know how to do fundraisers. So I did
Yeah.
exactly that, and I can hand that to somebody. It has everything they're going to need in there, a volunteer form, a vendor form. So if
Mhm,
somebody
mhm,
donates something, you can also ask them, can we put up a poster?
mhm,
But
mhm.
Santa has got pretty good even guessing how much they're gonna
That's pretty
bring in.
awesome. That's pretty awesome. I would like to. I know I'm seeing. I guess the majority of these comments are adults, but if some of the kids want to come on and just type in, I mean, you can watch over their shoulder, mom and dad.
Yeah.
But Santa is sitting right here, and I'm sure he'd love to hear what they want if they have a question, and whether it's about the reindeer or whether it's about Santa's life, what he's been doing, and how he keeps going, and the motivation to do that. Feel free to just reach out. That's why we're here tonight. Something a little bit different for me with the
And,
Skip Happens podcast.
Yes.
and different for Santa. He's never done
Yeah.
this before.
Well, welcome. I love it. But normally
Mm.
I have country artists sitting around this table, or we're talking to them through, through the wonders of today's
Mhm.
technology. As you mentioned, Zoom, which it's pretty old school now, but we use different methods, but still the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, to
Pretty
me,
cool.
it's amazing,
It's
all
amazing.
this technology.
Hmm. It's
It
just
is
so cool.
amazing. So you teach children many, many lessons, to be compassionate, to be kind. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned from children? You spoke about some really inspirational stories of like that swimmer that swam with one arm. What, over all of your years um, as Santa, what have you learned from children?
That they are all God-given gifts,
Mm.
because some of the children I've dealt with were so incredibly sick.
Oh,
One little boy had cancer 3 different times, and he actually had 2 open heart surgeries, and he fell and broke his arm, and he did all this within 2 years. So he was afraid. I visited him at the hospital, and he asked me a question that completely caught me off guard. And I knew it was because he was afraid.
mhm.
And he said, Santa, am I going to die? So I go, God, don't fail me now. This child is definitely afraid of dying. I looked him right in the eye and I was extremely honest. I said, well, of course you're going to die. Everybody dies. And I started laughing.
Yeah.
He started laughing. And I said, what
Wow.
makes you think you're so special? So we're both laughing. The nurse walks in the room. She said, what's so funny? And that little boy raised his hand. I said, oh, he said, we're just talking about dying. So she comes over, puts her hand on my
Wow.
arm, and she said, you are the most spiritual person I've ever met. And I get that a lot from the clergy. And they ask me, why is that? Why are you so spiritual?
Mhm.
You're the
I-
Christmas spirit.
I know.
And
You're the-
Yes.
That's
yeah.
why you're
Yes,
Christmas
yes.
spirit, and that goes all year round,
It
And-
does.
all through and through.
Hear the bells, right?
Yeah. And the clergy will say, yes, I think you might be right. You have more faith than we do. But I go, to me, I look at these children and I know how blessed I am. I know how blessed my family is.
Mhm.
And when I would see people complain, and when they had a really good job or they had a good life and all that, I just feel sorry for them.
Oh, Santa, you're just wow. Wow. This whole conversation, I mean, it's like, wow.
That's awesome.
I know. It's like, what do we say? What do we
I
do?
know, you're like-
It's amazing. I know I hit the button for the bells a little bit, and little sleigh bells, but just kind of keep us in the spirit. That's amazing what you do, and taking the time out to come and hang out with us tonight. If there's something you could tell all the boys and girls out there right now getting ready for Christmas, like I say, 1 week from today, by now,
It's the
all the
big day.
gifts would have been opened for the most part, depending on how you celebrate. But I know we do it. We're up in the morning and our gifts are open. So at this point in the day, it's all right. We just need a nap. We're done. but it'll be over with. But is there something you'd like to tell the young boys and girls?
Yes. I know that you make promises that you're going to keep your room clean, or you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And it's a big letdown for me when you don't,
Mhm.
because mommies and daddies, you know what? You're only with them for maybe 20 years, 25 years, and you go off on your own.
You do.
And then you're going to realize, like I have, what it means to be a
Mhm.
grandparent or
Mhm.
to have little ones. And it's so important you do those things that you promise.
Are are your grandkids allowed to say? Do they know you're Santa?
They didn't for a long, long
Ah,
time.
okay. How I don't even know how I would react. Come to find out, what do you mean, my grandpa's Santa? Oh my gosh! It's just wow, so
They got to
cool.
feel like the luckiest kids in the
Yeah,
world.
exactly, exactly.
Even now that they're in their 30s, and other young people
Mhm,
that I
mhm,
know that are
mhm.
around that age, they say, we know that kids usually, when they get around 9 years old, 10 years old, they don't believe in Santa anymore. But trust me,
Oh no, oh no.
once they have grandchildren, they immediately start believing again. So I said, I know you get picked on, you get teased, but I go, let me show you this. And the young lady who said kids were making fun of her because she believed in Santa.
Mhm.
And I had a book with all kinds of pictures in a big binder, and it was letters from different people, adults and children, saying how much they appreciated what I did. But I point out to them, donations come from other people. I just happen to be the one in the
You're
middle.
Santa.
Hmm.
You're Santa.
So,
Come on, you're Santa. Yeah, I got the bell. I'll ring it. I'm just saying. Wow. And I'm here to tell you that he's sitting right over here. So that's Santa Claus.
did you know that the Salvation Army, and I don't know what city, they have a goat that rings the bell?
Really?
And they said
That's
it's so
cool.
unique, and everybody gets excited. They'll come over for no other reason
Mhm,
to see that goat
mhm.
ringing the bell.
Yeah. Wow.
Is there anything this year that anybody can do to make your job a little easier on Christmas?
Leave lots of
I was
cookies.
just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Unless you
Leave
like
extra
hot cocoa,
cookies.
maybe an extra glass of milk. I don't know.
Mhm. Well, Santa's really blessed. You know what I really like from everybody?
Hmm.
Not just the adults, but the kids too. That they say prayers for the less fortunate.
Mm,
And if they see a
absolutely.
way of helping them, like I can remember as a little boy, people in the neighborhood would run out of food, and my parents would find out, and they go and buy groceries for them. And as I got older and there were some people that were having problems, I did the same because, there's some people out there in really dire need. They're so disgusted, they feel
Mhm,
hopeless.
mhm.
And guess what? We can give them hope.
And you're doing that too. We're all doing that. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Santa. Wow. I'm speechless at this point. I've asked my questions.
I know.
This is
I
so cool.
am too. I'm
I was
speechless.
just, when I was mentioning the fact that you had planned to stop by the Podzone and say hello to everybody, and it was on my Facebook today, and one of my neighbors across the street was like, "Oh my God!" Big uppercase letters that
I
Santa
know.
was going to be here, and it's just so cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if when you walk out to the red truck that they're letting you drive, that she'll scream, "Santa!" I mean, it's
Well,
been known to happen in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
yeah, Santa has a lot of friends in law enforcement and
Mhm.
firefighters.
Yep.
And this one girl, she got burned 86% of her body when she was 12. And I befriended her, and I made sure that she had Christmas presents, her and her
Mhm, mhm.
two little brothers. And we are still friends. And
God bless you.
she is 38 now.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
So
awesome.
That's beautiful.
Ooh, Santa. Wow. It got warm in here. It's just, I don't know how he's doing in the.
Yeah. Do you ever get warm in your suit?
well, not really. See, it's oops.
That's
It's
okay.
lined. It's lined
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's nice and
Is the
cool.
Very
temperature controlled
nice.
for like when you hit those high altitudes? Can you like,
Mhm.
It
is it,
just
you know, how we have those heated
yeah,
vests now? I don't know if they have something for the Santa suit.
no.
No, you just got to
I
deal with it.
imagine I could find something,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the gloves wouldn't be red,
No, I
the
get no,
vest
no.
wouldn't
You're right.
be,
You're right. I got you. I got you. You know, Santa, you're
but
wonderful.
it's warm enough for me.
And if you know, here's all the more
That's
reason to
great.
believe he's sitting right here. This is awesome, Santa Claus. Just first ever Podzone in how many years ever. So yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Miss Ray, do you have anything else you want to add there?
I don't think
Oh,
so. I think you did
Miss
great.
Ray, what do you want for Christmas? Now's your chance to
Oh my
tell him.
what do I want for Christmas?
Okay, we got to
I
go
know
now.
no. I really want to get this in. I know we were going to try to do something funny, but I'm going to genuinely ask.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I love records and like vinyls and stuff, so I just want as many of those as possible. That's
Okay.
really it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
That's my wish list is records and vinyls.
I just want to continue to be happy.
Okay,
You know
now
what I
I
mean?
sound me too.
No,
Scratch
but
the
what,
records
no.
and
You know, here, Santa, I mean, here's the difference.
I was just sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna kind of ask a question. So
Yeah.
with Christmas, you can wish for a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's materialistic things, there's emotional things. What do you, dare I say, think is the most important? Do you think the materialistic, like, do you think that like getting somebody the gift is the most important, or is it the happiness, the spending time together?
Well, if you're giving them, say, food or clothing that they need, that's really extremely important.
Mhm.
If you know somebody is in need of help and guidance, like Santa does a lot with Vera House, and they asked me to do a TV spot for them, which I did, and I pointed out it's not just children and females, but also males that are being abused. And they said I was so informative, they wanted to go with what I ad libbed with. And
Move that
yeah,
microphone a little closer to you, Santa. There you go.
I
Thank you.
think we all owe it to everyone else. If we see we can help someone, we should do it.
In any way, right?
Yes,
Whether it's
absolutely.
emotional, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the gift sometimes. It's
Yeah.
about the
give-
emotional
yeah,
side,
yeah,
the
like
side
the
of it all.
giving
Yeah.
aspect.
And then
Yes.
family and friends and being
Yeah.
together and
Yeah.
celebrating, you know.
And just thanking people.
Mhm.
Like people in law enforcement, firefighters, people on ambulances, people in the military,
So-
'cause they're
Nurses.
nurses.
When was the last time that you know of somebody actually doing that? Think about it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you do
Yeah.
it. I've got a first responder background.
Mhm.
Miss Ray knows a little bit about it. But just for the everyday person, when was the last time you actually walked up to a police officer or a firefighter, or the men and women that protect us every day, the ambulance corps? You get all that. There's so many different avenues of that type of work. When was the last time you walked up and said, you know, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And I think it's Santa, if I may say, no, I'm going to go off here. Not
No,
in a good way, in a good
no,
way, in a good way.
please. I interrupted earlier, so please.
No.
It
It just bothers me that all these individuals are taken for granted and they're expected to be there on a minute's notice. But when was the last time you actually said thank you? And let me give you a good example of what happened just the other day. I know that we're kind of getting off a little bit here with Santa, but at work, we work in the inner harbor, right in the down to Syracuse in that area. And the fire department went flying by, the rescue truck went by, the ladder truck went by, the ambulance went by, a mini went by towing a boat. I'm going, uh-oh, I bet you they found somebody in the harbor. So I get really curious and I get in my vehicle and I drive over and I pull in the other side where I could see what was going on. Two firemen jumped in that cold water, jumped in the cold water. And the guy, thank the good Lord, I wouldn't be talking about it if he didn't survive, but the guy was alive and they pulled him out. But without those firefighters doing what they did, not even thinking twice about what they're going to do, pulling that gentleman out of the water, it was just, this is why you need to say, thank you. Thank you. Because that could have been you, could have been me, could have been anybody.
So ironic you just said that. that young girl that got burned so bad. I bought a bunch of presents and signed from the Syracuse firefighters, and we met at her grandmother's house.
Mhm.
That was just probably not a much bigger room than this, the living room. So she was opening all these gifts, and I asked her, "What is the best gift you got tonight?" She said that these firemen who didn't even know me rescued their lives to save me. And you know what? All these big, tough firemen, they all had tears in their eyes as they were walking out, and they kept thanking me for inviting Michael.
Absolutely.
I thank God for you people every day.
Exactly. And, right from Santa, you just heard it. Make sure you say thank you. I mean, just even do a little something for them. They're going to be working on the holiday, Christmas. The men and women, they give up their time with their family to do that. It's just so maybe drop off some cupcakes. Maybe drop off do something. Just say we're thinking of you. Thank you for being there in case we need you. So, Santa, I wanted to say thank you for being.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Oh my goodness! So I mean, here you are. I only got to lighten this up a little bit. It was getting pretty heavy, but
so I have to be here again next year, right?
Hey, you want to come next week? I wouldn't after Christmas. Now you need to rest a little bit, so we wouldn't do that to you. But absolutely, and I know we've had a lot of people watching, not too many commenting, but there's a lot of viewers, so which is pretty cool, and they've heard what Santa is about and what you're doing, and just if you don't believe now, you believe maybe. You know what I mean? Look when you pulled up and to see the look on my son's face when you walked through that door was priceless. And Miss Ray is like,
amazing.
I know him.
Yes.
Yes. So nice
it just
meeting
keeps replaying
you.
in my head.
Yes.
Yes.
Santa, thank you for being here. God bless you. Safe travels on Christmas Eve.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the inspiring words as well. I mean, it's good to, to hear it all from you. So it's pretty cool. On behalf of Skip Happens, I want to say, Miss Ray and myself, I want to tell you all to have a great, great, great holiday. The Skip Happens podcast, of course, will be back next week leading up to the holiday. And after the first of the year, we got some good stuff planned. As you know, Miss Ray.
So stay tuned.
Yes, she's
Stay
come on
tuned.
board. So that's pretty cool. Santa's waving. Wave back, everybody. We see you waving.
Santa.
Santa, I know him.